does morality work in the absence of a deity?
So this is a very common question. It seems like there are a large number of people in our society that seem to think that you cannot be ethical, you cannot be moral, unless there is some divine form dictating to you what proper behavior is. However, Western philosophy, from the time of the Greeks forward, has come up with a multitude of stories of how ethics can be grounded in something other than divine dictate. From the character ethics of Aristotle to the ethics based on pure reason of Kant to the moral sentiments of David Hume, philosophers throughout the ages have come up with various accounts of how ethical precepts, ethical principles can develop without them being dictated by some supernatural force. Some stories, like Kant's, argue that if you are really reasonable, rational, and you recognize that every individual needs to be treated equally, if you have that amount of objectivity in your thought, that all of the normal, common moral decencies will just naturally follow. And Kant outlined long arguments for why this was the case. If you believe with David...
He was a deist, though.
He was. But interestingly, his whole philosophical research program seemed to revolve around building an ethics that did not require that fact, did not require the presence of this deity dictating ethics. His entire research program seemed to revolve around the idea that the pure will, pure reason alone could give rise to the same ethical principles that he shared with his fellow members of the community. David Hume had a different story in which he believed that we were all born with certain moral sentiments, that the caring and compassion that is natural for us as human beings underlies ethical concerns and will naturally give rise to common moral decencies. Secular humanists fall in a multitude of philosophical camps here, some of them siding with Aristotle, some of them siding with Kant, some with Hume, some a mishmash thereof. But all of these stories seem to offer a way in which one can justify good deeds in the absence of a deity. What's more, it seems like stories that require the presence of a deity in order for one to be ethical don't seem to exactly fit our mold of what it means to be ethical. For example, is an individual ethical if someone, a bully, says, "You must be kind to your brother or else I will beat you with a stick"? That doesn't sound like being ethical. That sounds like acting in one's own best self-interest. It sounds like preserving one's skin. Yet that's the very model that some religions anyway seem to promulgate, that the deity dictates this behavior, else you go to hell. That doesn't sound like ethics to the vast majority of secular humanists.
I understand what you're saying, and it gets back to the theologically tainted issue of the divine. But I have never found a system of morality that had the key for its application on the page that it was written on. For instance, let's just take the Ten Commandments as an arbitrary list: "Thou shalt not kill,"
right,
etc. Everybody in their life has to go through circumstances then where they have to make rational, moral, life-preserving decisions. But in order for them to do this, they have to find an organizing principle for a moral system. For instance, "Thou shalt not kill." If I believe firmly that "thou shalt not kill," and I find myself in a circumstance where I'm being attacked, and my house is under attack, and the people that inside are under attack, "Thou shalt not kill" immediately becomes subservient to another idea.
That's right.
With self-protection. And these ideas will flip back and forth throughout life. But somehow, even though I know that these ideas will flip back and forth in terms of their importance and their prerogative, that there is some sense of the moment that is necessary for me to use them correctly and wisely. And let's say that sense of the moment is found in the creative process, in the process of inspiration, etc.
Yes.
How would you promote, from a secular humanist perspective, how would you promote this sense?
I think that the vast majority of secular humanists would embrace what you just said wholeheartedly. As a matter of fact, they embrace it so wholeheartedly that they often get accused of having a non-objective ethics. The term situational ethics becomes a demonizing term, an attack upon them, when what is meant by situational ethics is simply that you must attend to the details of the situation in order to know what is right. That you cannot simply apply some simple one-sentence rule to any given situation and know what correct behavior is. You must be sensitive to all of the costs, all of the benefits, all of the concerns, everything that goes into the particular situation in order to evaluate the situation. What does it take in order to make human beings that are able to do that? It takes a long childhood of learning and development. The same way that a child learns to recognize what a cat is, learns to recognize what fairness is, learns to recognize what a vehicle is. All these abstract concepts that childs acquire naturally through many examples can apply equally to the ethical domain to things such as justice, to things such as when it is right